just want to say a couple of things. First things first. So basically, yeah, I'm available on Instagram. That will be linked down below. I'm also available on Rumble, as well as Twitter. Where else am I available? So Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Yeah, that'll all be linked down below, and as well as Threads. But without wasting any more time, let's get into the. Oh my gosh, I'm burned mid intro. The interview. So we have in his name. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Doing good,
Doing good. So do you want to start off just telling people like who you are and all that good stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wanna? Okay, yeah. Now, we're Miles and Eli. We're best friends. Been best friends for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just want to spread God's love, spread His energy, spread His light.
Yeah.
And yeah, how we got started was, like I told you earlier, we just started to hop on FaceTime or hop on call, check up on each other. But then those kind of checkups turned into deeper conversations, whether it was about like pop culture, religion, sports, politics, whatever. And somehow we'd always just branch that into God's word and God's message.
Okay.
And then after, a couple days of realizing that, we're like, yo, we should kind of bring this out to the public. And that's where kind of the in his name idea came with. And we just started to record ourselves talking about these topics, whether it was about relationships or trials and tribulations or taking risks in life. And then with that, we were like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then we started getting good feedback, and we're like, you know what? Let's actually be serious. Let's actually, turn this into reality. So yeah,
reality. Okay. So what inspired you guys to like start this? What made you guys start? We talked a little bit about it before. I'm like for the people who don't know.
I'd say like when the first video was made, that was because like I got to a really low point in life. Like I had some shit that happened to me, and it really like it made me think of like what was I on this earth for? Like what was I making like my idol? Because like nowadays like we make so many things our idol, right? And like I was making someone my idol, and I was like no, like I need God, like and I had the inkling in my head like it was that day, and I was like, yo, like you need to do something for God, like you need to do something for God. And then I'm like, in his name, like I need to do something for God. And then I made the same video that day, and I was like, yeah, just God loves you, like just spreading God's love. And I think that's like the core of our channel. We're just trying to like spread God's love, and like just like because I feel like nowadays it's so like it's not here. Like the earth is so like controlled by the devil and its things nowadays,
so
programmed. So like we're just trying to spread that whole like God's love, and just love your neighbor, love everybody.
100%. I rate that. Yeah, there's a lot of evil in the world right now, like especially like with governments and like a lot of evil things. So I see this. So that's why you guys just wanted to like kind of spread like God's love and all that stuff.
Yeah, and just motivate like kids. Like I feel like nowadays like everybody, because of the phone, like we have such short attention span.
Like our generation,
like everything is so like quick. Like we want to get content so quick. So it's like I think we need like that social interaction, and like we're lacking that. Like people have so much anxiety, and so much like they don't know how to like socialize properly. Like
we need to get that back.
We need to get that back.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that like COVID had played a role in that?
100%. Yeah. Like the one thing that they told us to do during COVID was to isolate, right? So obviously that means no friends, no going outside, and getting comfortable in being in your bed and staying at home and comfortable on your phone. And at that time, coincidentally, what came about to be TikTok, right? So watching those 3-second reels, right? And I was watching a podcast earlier, and they said now a 3-minute YouTube video is long, right? Because now we're watching 10-second videos, right? Exactly, attention span. And that thing, such a small thing, is gonna affect in quite a few years, like work, right, and actually like life outside of TikTok, outside of being in our homes, right? So it's had like a big effect, I would say, like COVID, 100%.
100%. Like COVID actually ruined like everything, in my opinion. Like it ruined everything. Like with like you have little kids now, they don't even really they miss that opportunity to like connect, and it's all been online, and everybody's just like even like young like from like K to 12, like nobody really knows how to like communicate with each other anymore.
Yeah.
Even university students, like going back to school, like everybody's like
don't understand like social cues.
No
eye contact. No proper like
exactly.
speaking up.
Exactly.
It's been affected, man.
Do you so like? Are you guys? You guys are. When you guys you guys graduated?
Yes, last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys were doing the. Did you? So you guys got through the COVID stuff. Like what was this grade 12 or 11 for you guys?
So during high school, as soon as we got to grade 10, that's when COVID hit. So so it was March 13, 2020. We were in grade 10 during that time, and then so the first half of grade 10 was like fine, was chill, and then at March, like during March, everything changed. Right, that's when online school hit. That's
so
when
you guys spent your whole high school experience online,
basically, until like grade 12. Grade 12.
That's depressing.
Well, yeah, I guess for him, I wasn't really in. Like, I only came here like a year, like when COVID was just finishing. Actually.
Oh yeah,
because I was in Africa before a bit.
Oh, so he was lucky.
I still would have rather been here, but like.
So you were like from. So you're like.
I wasn't born or anything. I just like I got deported. I just I was being a little too mischievous, you know.
Oh, you were exiled.
Yes, I was exiled. You know, my mom was like, "Yeah, you go back to homeland. You know, gotta get some African values."
It was this canon event.
It was my canon event.
Canon event.
I didn't get the African values still the same.
I can see this guy traveling back in time. He's like, we're supposed to happen. You were supposed to get on that flight. And you know, it's 2015.
What's crazy is they lied to me about it too. They're like,
that's how it always happens.
You're going for a wedding. They're like,
I actually had some homies of mine. They always tell me how it happens. They go to a trip for a family vacation to Africa back home. So before we go, we're just gonna visit your aunt's house to them. Right? They go to the aunt's house, and then after that they'll be like, actually, where's the passport? Like, you're not coming home with us. What? And then they just want to say, you stay there. It's like, it's crazy.
That was a scary time, honestly, because when he left, it was during the summer. So it was the summer before we were going to high school.
Yeah.
And I thought he would be gone for like the summer, and then he would come. That's it. So he tells me like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for the summer. I'll be back in school." I'm like, "I bet for sure."
I think I didn't say that, but okay.
You did. You said you would come. 2 years later. 2 years later.
Time skip.
Yeah.
The instant transmission, bro.
Oh God. What high school did you guys go to?
AOB.
Awesome, Brian.
AOB. Oh, okay. The school kind of always looked like a prison to me. Like it was always like.
Bro. You know what's crazy? We always talk about that, bro. We always talk about how it looks like a prison, and how it's so different from other high schools. Other high schools look nice, right? Yeah. Like they have actual school spirit. Us, a straight prison. Even outside the basketball courts, it's like a straight.
Yeah, that's what else came to my head because I played a soccer game back in high school there, and I saw the courts. I was like, yo, I feel like I'm walking in a prison yard. Man, that shit was crazy. But yeah, so you guys spent your whole high school experience in COVID, like that's crazy. How was that like? Like, how do you even like? Do you meet friends? Like, or is it just lonely? Oh, like how does that even like?
It was what was that like all over the place? Like, first of all, going in high school, like that's a big chapter already, right?
Yeah.
Now high school and then COVID, it's just like you're so overwhelming, right? So I was lucky enough to have kind of a friend group, so I'll just kind of stay in contact with them, stay in touch with them, and then like the whole like your learning process was different, right? It was through online, and then now your sleeping schedule gets changed because now you're sleeping in, and like you being able to cheat, you kind of take advantage of that, and you're like, okay, I don't need to study, I'll just go on, search it up on Google or whatever. So a lot of things change, and even like social cues, like body language, right? Because I'm not used to having to interact anymore, right? Because I'm being isolated. So a lot changed. But honestly, those were the best times for like hangouts. And for instance, like we would go outside and like play basketball for hours. That was the only thing we could do, but it was like one of the best times. So it was some of the best times, some of the worst times, I would say. But grade 12 was fun because that was when COVID was ending, and then like everyone came back. And then it really felt like kind of like, oh, we're all together again, right? It's like after that the rainstorms, it was like this big old sunshine.
Like it was all written or something.
was literally like a movie. Like it was just like, like you go through something and then boom, like a happy ending almost.
So like, did you guys come up with In His Name during COVID, or was this after COVID?
This was after COVID. Yeah.
So do you think that? Would you say like, if COVID never happened, would In His Name still exist?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
All right.
Still gotta get it. Probably would come to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the scenarios that we went through that kind of sparked it happened, and it didn't really involve COVID at all.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So like whether that was like heartbreak or losing someone or just going through life in general.
Yeah.
Like yeah, a lot of that kind of sparked the idea.
Because a lot of people I've talked to, like who I've like had on the podcast, I noticed a pattern of a lot of them saying like they were isolated in COVID, and then COVID gave them the opportunity to kind of like dive into the new thing that leads them to do whatever they're doing type thing. But I guess for you guys, I guess it was different. Like you had other stuff going on aside.
Is it like that for you?
For me, actually, yeah. Honestly, I don't think this spot. Yeah, I don't think. I think I would still be on YouTube if it wasn't for COVID. Podcasting, I don't think it would have happened without COVID, and also other factors that led me down here. But I probably would be on YouTube. I feel like if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be making content like maybe like I don't want to say like a Kayne, but I'd probably be one of those like
like mic'd up troll YouTubers.
Mic'd up type kind of
those
like
guys are funny though.
Like low-key, like degenerate, like
we would do that type of shit.
We honestly would, yeah.
But like, yeah, that's just kind of funny, you know. Like, just like
I mean, I'll probably still do it from your time.
Just trolling people, like like in the mall, like
and it's too much work. It's just like, how do I say it? Like I'm going in the mall, and then shorties, they want to be gas and be like, I'm in a YouTube video. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All this other stuff. It's like, you want to be in the video or not? Like
doing this has shown me how people just think they're like, they're like that.
Yeah.
They're just above like everything. Like oh, it's a YouTube video. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like definitely once you start like creating content, at least for me, I noticed like diving into more of like the I want to say creative scene. You start collaborating with more people. You start to, how do I say? You start to see, you start to realize a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of things are different behind camera. A lot of things are like, okay, like you kind of see, this guy moved this way, this guy moved this way. Okay, like you gotta start to see different.
Like, I see how you move now. Like, okay, I see how this.
A lot of interesting characters I've encountered through this journey, but it's been fun though. It's been cool. Been chilling.
It's a roller coaster.
100%. So you guys, kind of derailed there. I was gonna, so basically, you think that without COVID, despite COVID, like you would still be doing it.
100%. Yeah.
Canon events still happen.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. I just like our grade 12 year was such a like.
It was so eventful.
It was so like, it's like a whole essay, like climax, like everything.
Like, it's like God was like, okay, like this is gonna be a very impactful year for you. So just going through stuff, but it shaped us to who we are today. So we're grateful.
We gotta be grateful for that. I love. That's the thing. Like you gotta accept. You gotta love the failure. You gotta love the discomfort. You gotta love the hard things in life. Like that's how you break through, and that's how you blossom.
Facts, 100%. Do you? Oh, yeah, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, like going on to what he said. Failure is such like a big thing that happens like on your way to success. Like we were just like hearing something before, that like failure is like it shouldn't discourage you from success, or it shouldn't discourage you from your path. Like you even notice too, like being like a YouTuber, being like a content creator. We tend to fail, right?
Oh, yeah,
and like in society, failure is seen as like, oh, okay, like this is something that you shouldn't do. This is something that you should kind of like step back from. But really, the truth is that you learn from that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. And that's what we kind of try to talk about like in our videos. So yeah, just that little message.
Okay, 100%. Yeah, I definitely can agree to that. Like failure, definitely. Like even like L's are actually, like, everybody would be like, do a roast, like, oh, you took an L, but actually L's, like without the L's, like they actually drive you. I saw this one quote. This one quote from this one dude, JOESPH HINES. I don't know if you guys know JOESPH HINES, but
probably know his face. Maybe his face.
You've probably seen his
terrible
face.
with names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he says this thing where he's like, getting stabbed in the back forces you to fall forward. And I was like, damn. Yeah. And I resonated with that, man. I was like,
let him cook, bro. Dang.
He ate everything out there.
Oh God, like that was like when I heard that, it just resonated, man.
Wow, yeah.
It was a bar, man.
Some people are just crazy at articulating the words. Like, it's like, I understand you fully.
I'll send you guys his account after. Like, there's some of the speeches this guy says. I'm like, wow. Wow. Like, he just spitting gems. Because everybody just invites this guy on a podcast and they put the little music behind it and he's just there, just like, spitting. Bars. But yeah, I resonated with that because, like you said, like, you know, failures and like, because what happened, because I guess with him, he was explaining how, like, he had a business partner or something like that, and he got locked out of accounts and stuff, and he was down bad. But that forced him to pivot and start his new company. And I kind of resonated with it because the same thing happened with like this podcast. Like, how do I say it? Like, I guess, yeah, things happen. You know what I mean? Certain people, I guess, let me down and stuff, and then it kind of forced me to pivot into this direction.
Oh, it wasn't just only you.
Yeah, it was a little bit like the year 2021 was like a long 21 to 2022. It was not just like podcast stuff. Well, mainly was podcast stuff. It was a lot of like, how do I say it? Different things happened through those years that just like, how do I say it? Made me view like what's it called? Like collabing with people and stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't quite what I expected. Certain collaborations didn't go the way I wanted. Just a lot of different things, you know, were going on, and I was like, okay, let me switch. Let me go this way because I don't know. I just made me. How do I say it? It made me pivot. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking like, because I'm just gonna be real. Like a lot of like, because I tried to like
fall forward.
Huh? Yeah, I fell forward. Straight up.
Awesome.
Fell forward. You know what I mean? Like I try to collab with like a lot of different people, and a lot of people can be kind of gassed. No, a lot of people can be really gassed, right? And it just it kind of discouraged me a little bit.
Right.
And so then I kind of got this idea like, okay, like let me just try to collab with people outside of my city. You know what I mean? If no one in my city is willing to work with me, let me collab with other people outside my city. You know what I mean? So that's why I started reaching out to people in the United States. You guys have probably seen from the UK. You know what I mean? And so yeah, exactly. It forced me to fall forward type thing. You know?
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you told us this before, but like, what made you start like YouTube in general? Like,
what made me start YouTube in general?
Was it like a Canon event? Was it just like
a Canon event? Yeah.
So crazy on TikTok. Just like TikTok, everybody just watches TikTok and then just starts speaking it. Everybody just starts
saying the words and stuff. Yeah. Was there a Canon event? I mean, honestly, it was kind of just like I grew up watching YouTube. I grew up watching like Nigahiga.
I remember him. He's like he's a YouTuber that made like funny stuff. I don't know how to describe him.
He's like he made like a lot of skits
and like creative videos as well.
Yeah,
vlogs and then like mukbangs.
Yeah,
he was fun.
He kind of inspired it a little bit. Nigahiga, watching like all these different YouTube guys, and I thought I always wanted to try it when I was a kid. I was like, you know what? I wanted to try it, but I always had this like limiting belief, like I can't do that though. That's weird. And then after I started thinking about it, people would be like, hey, you kind of have an interesting personality. You should jump on YouTube. I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. And then pandemic happened. After that, like I was like, okay, I can't do it. And then so I was like, you know what? Let me just jump in. Let me try it. And I just jumped in, and yeah, here we are.
Awesome.
That's how it happened.
That's pretty like
still.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Hold on, I want to check on I just want to make sure that it still looks all good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for some reason it's still showing like the.
Always, man.
After that, like I was like, okay, I can't do it. You know what? Let me just jump in. Let me try it, and I just jumped in. Awesome. Okay, yeah, still looking good. It's still looking good. Okay, bet. Yeah, let's continue on. So basically. But yeah, so we talked about like your COVID experience, and you guys started it in high school. You said, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you started in high school. Different things happened. So what was like? And you guys are 1 year out of high school now.
Yeah.
1 year. So how was graduating high school like for you guys?
What do you mean, like the process of graduating it?
Or
like our feelings behind graduating or the year after we graduated?
Let's jump into like, yeah, the year after like graduating. Like, what's that kind of like? How does it feel?
For me, I went straight into university, right? And honestly, like doing like, okay, only 2 months of summer, then boom, like you're going to university right off the bat. There was a lot of like freedom. It was a blessing and a curse, kind of like that freedom, because I'm like, okay, now that actually be really accountable during university. So it was like, yeah, I learned a lot.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a learning process. It was a learning process. It was, I truly like found myself during that kind of time of being in university, getting out of high school, and it was really like you learn a lot because it's a whole different chapter. Like you know, it's a whole different chapter. Like you're not doing Monday to Friday no more, going to school. You're not seeing the same people, right? You're in a whole different environment, a whole different ballgame. So yeah, it was a learning process. I would say, like graduating after, for me, it was a learning process.
So you live here or you?
I'm at Nate.
Nate. Okay. Yeah. For you, how's it look for you?
For me, I took a year off and I'm gonna go to school this year, but like I just I thought like, okay, like I don't really know what I want to do, you know, so like might as well not like just rush it. And I was just working the whole year, and then just like so it just gave me like a lot of free time, I guess, to just like to just who am I, you know, like what are the things I like to do? How do I interact with people, you know?
Yeah.
And I could say like at the start of it, because you're such in this whole like I'm going to school, I have this to do this today, I have to do this, and school makes it to the point where you're like you have something to look forward to, you have this to do, you have this to do that. So when you're out of that, right, it's like okay, like you kind of feel like okay, what am I doing? Like what am I doing, right? And then that made me that like brought me to a place like okay, like you're not doing anything, right? But then I was thinking like if I was in school, but like would I really be doing anything, or would I be just doing what everybody else is telling me to do? You know, so it really made me think like what do I really want out of life, what do I really want out of life, you know? It made me embrace the struggle. I struggled so much, especially like right like where when around Christmas time it was like an arc, and I was like damn, like Canada event happened again. Yeah, like I gotta get out this, you know. Yeah, and I was like damn, and I was like it brought me a new spear. Like even my friends they're like yeah, like you're like they can tell the difference between the way I was like just like because like I don't know, I just had a different aura around me, and I was just like yeah, like
during the Christmas time, or
yeah, I just went through a lot.
Like a bad aura or like a
good, like I changed like to the point where I'm like okay, like I know what I want in life now. I know I'm more in my own mindset. I got past the whole like okay, like we were listening to someone the other day, and he was like people have people's opinion emotions in the driver's seat, people's opinions in the front in the passenger seat, and your brain in the back seat.
Yeah,
right. And I got into that, and I was like okay, like I need to put my mentality first, I need to put what I want first, and I gotta put God first, you know. I gotta put what my values are first, you know. I can't let other people control what I want to happen in my own life. I gotta dictate my own path, and I gotta do what's right for me, because people don't know how to do that, honestly. People just know how to follow. School teaches you how to write a test. They tell you, oh, you got 3.5 out of 5, and then you attach that score to yourself, yourself worth, and you're like, okay, I got a 3.5 out of 5. That's what I am, you know. And people are so like into that, they're so integrated into that, so where they think that's all they are, you know, and they base themselves into that. So that's why people are like, okay, now I got to go to university, I got to do this, I got to do this, you know, just following that whole like school doesn't prepare you for the real world. It doesn't prepare you for the real world at all, you know. It just teaches you how to like just fall in line, and follow around, follow everybody else, and do what you're told, and do this, and then just, you know, because that's what they want you to. They don't want you to think out the box, you know. And like this year, that year, it just made me like find myself, and you know, and just think about the things I really value in life.
Yeah. I kind of went through the same kind of. I took a gap year too after high school, and then I did like, the gap year was actually kind of nice. I just kind of explored, just kind of like just seeing like, okay, what do I actually like before I went into uni. But yeah, I like what you said there about like, you know, in like especially like from K to 12, a lot of it is like, you know, kind of just programming you to kind of like caring what people think, and you know what I mean. Like especially high school is where it's like you feel like you gotta care so much about everybody thinks. You gotta worry about, oh, what are these shorties gonna think? Or what are these guys gonna think if I do this? And it actually prevents you from like, and a lot of people still carry on this mindset. It prevents you from like actually like doing stuff like, oh, you want to start a YouTube channel? Or my friends are gonna think it's
reaching
weird.
your full potential.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of programming that happens. And like going off to what you said, I feel like after high school, that's when a lot of people really find like their true purpose.
Yeah.
You know, that whole kind of programming ends where everything's scheduled for you. Right?
Yeah.
And then like you start to realize like what you said, like oh, like what am I gonna do today, right? Like because there's so much freedom. So that's when you really find yourself. Really be like, okay, I like doing this instead of this. Like at first I thought I liked doing this because this is what school wanted me to be. This is what's what I thought school like taught me to be. But really, I like this, right? And that's from finding you. So that's from getting that more freedom. I think that's a gift.
Yeah, just school in general. Just like it's just so like okay, like I'm gonna you gotta study this right now. It teaches you how to absorb information and then regurgitate it. You know, we heard it from someone the other day. You take what it in and then you regurgitate it. You know, if school was really about learning something, they wouldn't just make it out of a score. They would see you the ability to learn your mistakes. You know what you just learned. Can you because you did bad? Can you get better on that? You know, but that's not what they teach you. They teach you to how to write a test. That's what school teaches you to do, how to write a test. And then that's why the people that know how to like just like follow a pattern, you'll see like they're the best in school because that's how their mind works, and they're just like, okay, there's no real actual elevated thinking there, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's where the dysphoria comes in, where people think that they know everything and they just have life planned out because they're like, okay, like I'm good at school, like I'm doing this, but they don't understand how school doesn't really like
prepare you.
It teaches you to work for someone, not
someone.
It
teaches you how to exactly what Miles said. It teaches you how to work for someone, not be the boss.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they say. Like the A students, the C students own the companies, the B students
and the ones working for
the C students. Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
That's
like
exactly how it works.
They hire people smarter than them to do the things that they don't know how to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you were gonna say something.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the school path, it kind of teaches you like if you want to be like 9 to 5, then I guess the school route is for you. I mean, I guess if you go to school, you could do entrepreneurial route. It really depends what you want to do. It all really depends. But yeah, it definitely kind of programs.
It narrows your mindset. Yeah. It narrows your mindset. You're thinking like you're so like I don't know, botted, like you're a bot, like
you're a bot, NPC,
like that.
Like it trains you to be in that rat race.
Yeah.
That's what literally trains you to.
Okay, now I could probably narrate someone's life right now. Like they went to school, then they went to 4 more years of school, then they did a 2 more years of school, then they worked for 25 years, and then they had a kid at this age because that's when you're supposed to have kids apparently, because that's when you're supposed to have kids. Then you got married, then you worked for 30 years until you retired, and you did it. Like, come on, like there's no way people actually want to do that. I'm sorry, but like that's not for me. Like, I don't know about other people, but like I don't know how but that's what school teaches you, like to be okay with it, to become complicit, to become complacent with the way you are, to not want to change, you know. And that's how the only way
accept that.
To accept that,
like a fixed mindset.
A fixed mindset.
Yeah. That's another thing too, like fixed mindset. I noticed there's a lot, like especially today, there's a lot of these trends of like fixed mindsets where it's just like everybody kind of like I talked to you if you guys have seen like other videos I've made, like I've talked about it before, like the fixed mindset and the victim mentality, and all kind of ties together where it's like you have this mindset where it's like, okay, this is my current state, I can't change. This is how it's supposed to go. There's no updating, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just in this state, you know what I mean? You just got, like you said, like you're just staying in this rat race. You think, oh, I can't never do this because that's weird. I can't change. You know? It's weird.
Like the problem is that people think like they're supposed to be like everybody else. Which is so stupid because like do you understand that you have a different brain?
Exactly.
Like you aren't the other person. Like what is weird to you cannot be what's weird to everybody else. Your opinion cannot match the same opinion. And that's the thing. Like everybody got to think the same. Everybody, that's weird. Like that's like, what are you doing? Like, you know, like that's all. Like, what do you like? People are afraid to be themselves, and it's so
Are
like
you for a reason?
I think COVID also like made that even worse, right? Because it was like, oh, okay, this is how people dress on TikTok. This is how people talk.
TikTok,
this is how people do this. This is how people do this. Okay, I'm gonna do that. You know, and it's all like if you don't do that, then you're like weird. Like,
to go against like the grain. Yeah, everybody's so.
Why would I go against the grain? Why would I just like that's not normal? People use the word normal so much. Like, what the fuck is normal? Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not. Or what do they use? That they say reasonable. What do they say? Oh, you can't get this because it's
I know what you're talking about. It's not
realistic.
It's not realistic.
What the fuck?
It's not rational. It's not rational.
Yeah, realistic. Like, what does the word realistic mean?
Yeah.
How can what's real to you become real to somebody else with a completely different brain to you? I might think I can do that. That doesn't mean that you also think you can do that, or that you can't. You don't think that you can do that, right? Like, what's real to you is not like that word realistic is so dumb. Like, you can do whatever you want to do in life. You know, that's the problem. People don't want to take control of their life, and that's what school teaches you, to just let people control you. Oh yeah, then you go into the 9 to 5 thing, and everybody's just telling you what to do. You know, you trade your time for money. That's the thing people don't understand. You know, you trade your time for money, right? But if I were to tell you, if I gave you $1 million right now, but you don't wake up tomorrow, would you take it? No, you wouldn't take the $1 million, right? Because you'd rather be alive, right? You'd rather be alive, right? But that's what people do, though. They don't realize that you're trading your time for money. You know, you work your whole life, and then you got 10 years of vacation time. Now we're getting retirement. We're retired.
And how do people spend their retirement? Sitting down, watching TV all day, right? Sleeping at like 8 p.m., right? Like, it's sad. It really is, right? Like, money, people are a slave to money. That's modern slavery, right? Being a slave to money.
100%. I definitely agree. I will kind of like push back a little bit. I will say though is like, I definitely agree with everything you said. I think it depends on who you are, because there are some people that like working 9 to 5. They like kind of like that, you know, waking up.
We need people like that though.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, here's what I'll say. I think for some people, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, do that. Go ahead. But I feel like a lot of society, they try to push that on everybody. But that's not everybody's path.
That's the problem.
You got to find, who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? And then figure out how do you get that. I think that's what it is.
And school should be like, okay, what you want to do, we're going to help you build that. Not, okay, no, don't do that. This is what you should do. This is how you should act. This is how you should think. That's wrong. That's corrupt. That's where the programming comes from. It's so corrupt. The whole school system is messed up. It needs to change.
It needs to be more of like, especially these career days, I find them kind of like, they are kind of, some of them are useless. They are kind of useless. What am I talking about? They're useless. You remember those career day things? Like it's like, they don't really like encourage you to like explore. At least that was my experience. They don't really encourage you to explore like.
They don't encourage innovation.
Yeah, like they don't give you. That's another thing. That's actually another reason what I watched. My goal is with this podcast is just to show people like you have options. Like you can be an entrepreneur if you want to. You can work a 9 to 5 if you want to. You can, you know what I mean? You have there's options out there of like what you can be. You don't have to go the traditional 9 to 5 route. Or you could do that route and then you start a side hustle and then you work until the side hustle overtakes the 9 to 5. Then you can do this thing. You know what I mean? There's so many different. There's no one way to like this life.
Exactly.
There's no one way. But that's the thing. Like I feel like in this generation they want to push that it's this path.
Yeah.
Only one way.
And I feel like also like with that, like immigrant parents also kind of push that too. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand.
Because in their time that's what it was.
Yes,
there was an option.
That was our only way out.
So they still think it's that way.
Yeah. But the thing is like they immigrated for a reason, right? To give us that ability to think freely, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, school was their only way out, kind of, but okay, you immigrated here, right? Now we get the opportunity to think freely, to think innovatively. If that makes sense, right? But still, like a lot of immigrant parents are like school's on the way. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a nurse. But it's like we're now in a country with opportunity, right? Like the generation has changed.
It's changed, definitely. Like it's not the same how it used to be. Like now you can. There's so many options now. Like back then, I can understand. Like, okay, go to school, entrepreneurship, like being an influencer, or you know what I mean. didn't exist back then. The internet provided a lot.
Yeah.
For this day and age, I would say, 100%. Yeah, like back then, like you couldn't be a YouTuber or something and make like. I feel like with this new generation of social media, like it's might sound biased, but I feel like content creation is looking the future right now. Like
it is.
Even if like you're not like Logan Paul, Mr. Beast. Like I had on my last podcast, shout out Giselle, we were talking about this. Like you could even be like a mechanic or whatever, and you can create content, and then you know what I mean. You create content, it gives you credibility. People watch you. Fix cars. Oh shoot, you can fix my car too. Now you can even ask for some
people do that, like
money.
Barbers.
You know what I mean? Barbers,
barber influencers. Like,
barber
that's why they're so
influencers.
famous because they create that internet personality, and then people just can come here.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You use the content to enrich the business. I feel like content creation, like even it could be any profession, just start creating content and it will like boost the sales.
Yeah,
it will. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I like what you said. Yeah, like social media, like being like influencers, like the future.
It's the future, 100%. Let's see, what else am I gonna get into? Yeah, we covered COVID. We covered. We didn't cover. I want to travel back in time a little bit. How'd you guys meet?
Oh, so funny story actually. We met in the 5th grade.
Oh wow!
But he came from education, right? And obviously, like at this time, like there's still Instagram, right? There's still like text messages, right?
You guys had Instagram grade 5?
Yeah,
I did.
too.
Yeah, I didn't have that shit.
Yeah. And then I was in Kenya at the time, right? And then some of my friends text me like, "Oh, there's a new guy," and they're like,
"He looks like you.
He looks just like you. He looks just like."
I don't see it.
Well, why do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Black kid.
Were you guys the only black kids in your class?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I get it.
Yeah. And I'm like, like I wonder what this guy looks like, right? I'm like, maybe I don't know. Maybe he looks exactly like me. I come back, looks nothing like me. The only thing, we're both black. And then yeah, like we kind of had like a rocky relationship, like through elementary, junior high. It was kind of like up, down, very inconsistent. But then, like when he came, when he left, and then came back, that's when we really got like we were like, yo, like
it was like a Naruto and Sasuke kind of thing.
Kind of. Yeah. It was like that. I went to I was Sasuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to go and train, get my canon events and stuff. Yeah. And then I came back and it was like,
good analogy.
Easy, nigga.
Yeah. Came back to the village.
Yeah.
Village hidden in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Village people, it was crazy.
Our friendship was like a long kind of like rocky road, and it's only been like 8 years. So
oh wow, that's a long time to be friends. 8 years. That's
they say if you get past 6, then you're true friends.
Say word.
People, I don't know.
I think I heard that too. Like it's 6 years. I think it is. You're true friend. Damn. It is definitely it's good to keep those friendships around. Speaking of the topic of friends though, do you find that since high school you've like the group you hung out I can't even talk to it. The group you hung out with in high school, you know what I mean? Is it the same group you hang out with now? Do you guys find like you've drifted from like people since high school, or like everything's kind of changed?
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, like the same people we sat lunch at aren't the same people we sit with lunch at now. Yeah, like it's like okay, there's definitely been like a cut, right? And like people,
cut is crazy, but okay.
You don't think so?
No.
Not us cutting it, but like
I would just use that word as crazy, but okay, continue.
Why?
No, continue.
It is. Like yes, like people like go their different ways, different routes, but like a lot of people, we've seen some people done like some stuff, and that's causes a drift. Like there's a lot that goes into it, like why there's been like a divide. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, like, there's been like a divide.
A divide, yeah. 100%.
You see, I think that's the problem with high school. It's so like, it's so like, okay, I want to be popular, or I want to have friends. I want to be known that I have friends. I want to, so there's no realness. You know, it's all for show. It's all for, okay, I'm going to go do this now. We're going to go hang out later. We're going to go do this and then go do that. So we're going to tell people. And the problem is now we got this thing like, I posted on my story that I was hanging out with people and like I gotta tell these people that I was hanging out with.
Be like,
look at us having fun. Look at us having fun.
Right now. Go back to
or like that. Like last night was a movie. Like we were just on their phone.
That movie is crazy, but okay. Yeah, like it's so like that's the problem, and then that's why there's no realness, right?
Yeah,
because it's all like that, and then then when you get to the real world and everybody's like trying to figure out their life path, you see like people's true intentions and things, you know?
Yeah,
100%. Like I feel like like you said, like people find their once you get into real world, you see the true intentions. Everybody's like, you're becoming who you naturally are because there's no constraints.
Exactly.
So then you think, oh shoot, like not really oh shoot, but it's kind of like you start to realize who everybody is, and you might not be compatible with this person anymore. And that's I honestly think it's totally fine.
It's
like,
good.
It's good. Like actually, it's kind of a blessing in a way when
you gotta shed the cocoon.
Exactly.
You gotta shed the sleep. You gotta.
Some people are not meant to be in your life for the rest. Like this first season,
Yeah. For a season, exactly. The seasons be crazy,
That's so true.
And going back to like, if you want to get like bring God into it and everything, I feel like God kind of he separates you from people, like he makes you drift away from people to kind of take you to the next level. I truly believe that because I've seen it in like my own life. Like like you kind of you don't hang around certain people anymore. You know what I mean? You kind of he separates you. You gotta go on your own little journey, like you know what I mean, your own little training arc. You know what I mean? Exactly. In order to become who I guess he needs you to become. Yes. To fulfill your destiny.
God isolates people for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. I like that because I got deported or whatever. Like I didn't get deported, but because I got deported. People say like if I tell that to someone in the street, like or like one of my random people that I know, they'll be like, "You got deported?" Yeah. I just went back to my mom's house in Africa. But okay, yeah. And because that happened, I had a real character change. I don't know. Yeah, if he knows how I know. Then I used to be like yeah. There's a reason I got sent back. Like I was like this kid that like I love having too much fun. I think that's what it was. I like being the I don't know if you could elaborate more. Yeah,
but like
you were like
young. Yeah, like
I was young, but like still like I needed that arc to like.
It was like his impulsive thoughts just comes to life.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Very impulsive, loud. Okay, I can already picture what kind of guy you were in high school. Yeah. I can already see it. I can see it. Yeah, it's I feel like it's a normal piece. I think it's a
physically and mentally. Yeah, physically and mentally went through a whole change.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like you started getting. I see you kind of like get a little bit buff. Like you look like you go to the gym and shit.
Yeah, but this guy lost like a ton of weight, and like you were going on like 2 kilometer or whatever, like in 1 mile.
I just started doing 5Ks randomly.
5Ks, that's what it was.
In Africa, I was like, damn. Yeah. Well, I had nothing else to fucking Who's gonna carry the boots? He's gonna carry the boots.
Literally, who's gonna carry that? What's the bucket?
That's funny.
Who's gonna carry the bucket? African goggins.
But yeah, he definitely changed like a lot, like all around, like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually too. Yeah, like
I knew God.
He was telling me like you didn't even know God, but then like Zimbabwe kind of.
Yeah, I didn't
really.
They're really very in Africa. It's like they really emphasize Christianity down there. Like I'm asking us like a question.
They do. I'd say that it's a
Is it a Christian dominated place?
I'd say
Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
In general,
because certain parts in Africa it's weird. Because some places are more Islam dominated, and some places.
Oh wait, no, us it's more
Christian dominated. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And it's probably like they're more vocal with it than here. I guess here it's kind of like, how do I say it?
There are a lot of
you tippy toes. You tippy toe around it. You be like, you kind of, you could say like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm a Christian. I don't say too much.
They walk around eggshell.
Yeah, because it gets it's like you're gonna offend someone.
Like that's what I feel like we need. Like that's the problem. We as Christians, you not spreading Christianity is a sin. You not telling people that you're Christian and it's like you're withholding them from like goods and like favor and grace because you're keeping it all to yourself. You're keeping God's glory to yourself, and you can't, as a Christian, you can't be doing that, right? Our job is to what? Spread God's word to people, right? And I feel like now society is like, shut up. You can't talk about Christianity. Yeah. But nah, you gotta stand for it.
100%.
That was also like the motivation behind it, is saying it's like spread the word.
100%. Yeah, I rate that, man. I rate that, especially because like, yeah, it just needs to be louder. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like just being free to just say like what you believe, and just being able to say that freely without like, I mean, of course, your people are gonna clash with you, you're gonna have judgment, but that's okay. Like, I feel like
that's okay.
In this generation, we need to be okay with like disagreeing with each other.
Oh my God, yes.
And just like,
it's okay if there are billions of people in this world. How can you expect everyone to think the same? That's so crazy to me that people literally think like everybody should think a certain way and be okay with everything. Like, are you fucking? Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And the moment you disagree, you're canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't think different. I'm sorry. Like,
you're a bigot.
You're a fraud. You're a phony. Damn, we just had a conversation. I didn't feel the same. That's all it was.
Let's educate each other. Let's learn here. You know,
I feel like the best kind of like learning experience or conversations is where it's like you got two people from opposing sides, and they're able to talk to each other and respectfully disagree. And for the people watching, it's so educational because you get to see two totally opposing sides. And then now, from watching that, you get to figure out, okay, well, he's got a point here. He's also got a point here. Okay, maybe I can find a place in the middle. You know what I mean? You don't got to be so polarized.
Exactly. That's the problem. It's like, okay, are you liberal or are you conservative?
Exactly. Like, let me tell you about it.
People like to think that we're the representative democracy. How is it representative if they give you two choices? If they're like, you gotta be this or this, how could you fully agree with one thing or the other? Like, no, you don't. You know, like that's why
left versus right.
Like, you're not fully left or you're not fully right. You know, like, come on here. Like, we're that's the problem.
And I feel like a lot of people, they put too much. I like you bring this is something I've been thinking about a lot. They put too much emphasis into the politics where it's like, yo, it's like they think, oh, if this guy wins, if this party wins or whatever, oh, like I'm like my whole life's gonna change. I'm gonna be driving a Benz the next day. I'm gonna be in a mansion. All my life's problems are no. You're still gonna be in the same job you hate.
They all gonna at the top. They all know each other. At the top, they're all friends. People think the government is like. They think that like they control the government. They think the government controls.
It's not even government too. It's corporations.
It's all exactly. It's like they don't understand that it's a hierarchy here, and the richest people are always on the top.
The richest ones are on the top.
The richest people are on the top. They think the government regulates things. The real government doesn't regulate the rich. The government does.
Because it's the rich, they actually fund these government campaigns. They give them money. Oh, you don't like some laws? Hire some lobbyists, tweak laws. They just throw money. You know what I mean? Like they're puppets.
It's a hierarchy, right?
Hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like I feel like rich. Real talk. I feel like, and that's why I've adopted the mindset of just like, you know, let me just focus on, you know, if you want to get involved in politics, cool, whatever. But my mindset is like, okay, let me try to focus on myself. Let me become the best version of myself, increase my market value and all that stuff, so that I can make my own life better instead of putting my faith in like a man in office who I think is gonna be my savior. First of all, you know what I mean. You're like I said, like I'm going back to like idols. You're making this political party like an idol. You're God. You know what I mean? Like God already gave you the resources. All the resources we need are all around us. We just gotta, you know what I mean? Like David, you just gotta find the string, the stick, the thing to take out the Goliath in your life, right? You know what I mean? The resources are here. You can change your life. You don't need no government to like. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people put too much faith in the government to like change their life. It's like nah, like you can change your life yourself, bro. You can do it. You don't need to like, you know what I mean? Like no human is coming to save you. Not Trump, not Biden, not Trudeau, not whoever the mayor is. I don't know his name. No one's coming to save you unless it's God. But He's already given you the resources to change your life.
He's giving you the wood to build the boat.
Exactly.
People don't understand that.
Yeah. Real talk. Like I feel like it's just a lot of this like, how do I say it? Like this mentality of like, you know what I mean? Like it's a limited mindset where it's like it's you like we have like if you can talk, walk, breathe, hear, sing, whatever, like you can do anything you want with your life. You don't need to put your faith in like some mayor, some president, or prime minister. Oh, he's gonna change my life when he wins.
My life, thank you.
It's like, nah, bro.
Not that ass, bro.
God saved your life. That's who saved your life.
Exactly.
Y'all think speaking facts, bro. How do you do that? A whole other man, the same guy that has the same breathes the same thing, you drinks the same water you drink, does shit to the same toilet you shit in, and you're like, this nigga finna save my life.
Exactly.
This nigga finna save my life here.
Exactly.
If he changes that law, oh my god, next year I'm going on 2 vacations instead of 1.
Yeah. Instead, if you would have just found a way to make more money, then you can go on that vacation. You know what I mean?
You got a misconception.
It's misconcepted for real.
Program, man.
Get 2 jobs. Two vacations.
I got 2 vacations today. this week, this summer. 2 vacations this summer, guys.
Only 2 vacations.
Not one, but 2.
2. Oh God.
No more 5 days, a whole week.
Whole week.
Whole week. Start up the RV.
Yeah. I think we definitely underestimate how much control we can like, how much we can really like change our own lives. I feel like it's obviously gonna take work. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen overnight. Obviously, there's gonna be years where it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to grind. It's gonna be hard, but once you get through it, bro,
See the light at that.
you'll see the light. You'll get through it. You'll be able to make decisions for yourself. You'll be able to have the life you want. You don't gotta worry about, oh, is Trudeau this year gonna help me? No, screw that, bro. Nah, bro. You gotta level up to get to a point where you're not even worried about like the government. Like you should be, it's just about having full autonomy over your life.
Like pain is temporary, but regret is forever, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think like when you think like, okay, that certain mindset, like, okay, let me get this 9 to 5 job, will be fine. Let me just like focus on Justin Trudeau and how he's gonna save my life instead of I can't. At the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, you're gonna be like, man, I could have done something way better than this.
Yeah.
I could have taken over the world, but I was too busy that I would fail. And going back to what we said, right? Failure is seen as, oh, when you fail, just try something else. No, you should do this.
Yeah.
But failure is a stepping stone to success. And that's why a lot of people are blind to their full potential, right? They're looking here when the potential is there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like what he's going off of, like I heard this on this thing on a podcast. It was like, imagine one day you go to heaven, right?
Yeah.
God sits you down and he starts reading you this thing. It's like it's a list of this guy, and he did so many great things in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, you're like, who is this guy? Like, this is who we're supposed to be.
That's crazy,
right? But you weren't like this because you didn't go for it. You didn't let this, right? And man, isn't that like the worst regret you could possibly have? Like I could have been all of this, but I'm letting things currently, my emotions, people's opinions.
Yeah.
Remember, emotions, opinions, brain. So you're letting you're letting your emotions and your people's opinions control your life. I let that happen, and it shunned me from who I was supposed to be. You know, and that's I feel like that's the biggest regret you could possibly have. Yeah. Imagine thinking that like I could have been that at like 80.
That's powerful. Like you go to heaven, God's son, you're like, oh, yeah, like you know who the greatest basketball player was? It was you. Oh, imagine. Or do you know who the greatest podcaster was in all time? It was you. But you didn't. Yeah. Or like who's this is so and so? Yeah, it was like imagine.
It's supposed to be you, my boy.
Yeah. I truly believe that. Like I feel like the greatest actors, basketball player, whoever or whatever. It's probably like there was probably someone out there who was better than Michael Jordan, but he just probably quit.
I think about that so much.
You know what I mean? Probably someone better than Mozart, but he quit.
There's probably someone out there who would like be the best player ever, but they're just so corrupted and programmed to think that they can't reach that.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part. Like Kanye West said, he was like, when he was coming up, he was interviewed, and he was like, if I wanted to play basketball, I'll get an NBA right now. And the interviewer couldn't believe that. He was like, no way. And Kanye West was like, no hesitation, no nothing. He was just like, yeah, I would. And that's what we need. That's kind of the mindset we need. Like, if you have something in your mind, you can do it, right? Like, that's the biggest fear. Like, worrying about how like your perception of how like they perceive. That's the biggest thing.
100%. Yeah, Kanye, he's an interesting guy, but I definitely.
What do you think about him?
What do I think about Kanye? Oh man, I think he's a little bit. These days, he's doing too much. I'll say he's doing too much, but
Full yay.
full, full yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, he's doing too much, but I definitely respect the guy for the work he's put in to get to just seeing his documentary, how he started out, and all that. Like, I definitely do have respect for that. Actually,
because it was so like, I think like this mindset that we all have, like it was like that. Like you can see it in him, and then to see it come into fruition, especially as a young black man in the society.
Yeah,
it's just so like I can do it.
Yeah, it gives you confidence to be like, oh, if he could do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
100%.
There's videos of him dancing, rapping at 2, saying, "I'm Kanye West." Imagine like at 2 having that like just that like that aura, right? And it's like it happens, right? But people like, oh, go be a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what you're saying is true though. Like people, we need the ants. Don't get me wrong. We need the rats. We need the people that are gonna fix the pipes.
Yeah.
As long as you're complacent and you feel like you're fully fulfilled in life, and you feel like you explored all your options, I feel like that's what you should go for. But like, don't be afraid to just like explore your options.
Exactly.
Or like think outside the box for once. There's nothing wrong with being normal or whatever that your normal is. But find your normal, because it's not like everybody else.
It's not, but
there isn't one normal.
100%. Like, I definitely agree with that. Like, just finding like who exactly you want to be. Like, whether it's a 9-to-5 entrepreneur, artist, singer, dancer, basketball player. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you want to do, right? And figure out the steps you need to get there, how you're gonna live, how you're gonna make money. You know what I mean? There's a way. I feel like I honestly believe there's like a way to everything. You just gotta just about doing the math. Figure out, okay, what's the step to do this? You know what I mean? Just figure it out.
I saw the thing like, imagine there's a camera crew that was hidden that's following you on your path to greatness. What would you start doing? Imagine there was a camera crew right now, a hidden camera crew that just was following you on your path to greatness. What would you start doing? And they said, do that, because that's how you're gonna get there. Like, imagine that. Imagine that.
Oh God, kind of like a documentary. That'd be, yeah.
Imagine your documentary of your life, your biography is being filmed right now.
Yeah.
What would you do to make that happen?
100%. It's facts. How far are we in this already? It's been probably like.
When do we start?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
We started like 8.
How long are these usually?
I usually go hour, 30 minutes, hour, like no more than an hour. I try to keep it like. Let's see where we at.
It doesn't show the exact time, but it says streamed 1 hour. Well, let me open that. My bad. Let me click on the live right here.
Oh no, this is the other one. Okay. Yeah, because we made a new one.
I think this is the new one right now.
Yeah. Oh shoot! Did it not go? I thought it went back.
Wait, no. Go back. Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah, an hour.
Just an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's wrap it up, I guess. Shoot, hold on. Let me just see this real quick. Did it not go down to like?
Why you thought it would be longer?
No, because wait. But why is it like? Why did it do that? I thought it would like fix itself.
Oh, right.
That.
Like the angle.
Yeah.
But if you go full screen on your phone,
yeah, I think like
yeah, someone was on their phone
And they can just put the locking thing.
Yeah. It's all good. We'll figure it out after.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's probably wrap it up. So where do you guys see In His Name in like 5 years? What's the future plan?
Yeah, still doing what we're doing, inspiring people and just spreading it, turning
on a bigger scale
Mhm.
though. We're gonna. Our dream is to just be traveling the world, speaking motivation and Christ into people's lives and hearts. Yeah. One day we want to have like
We want to like start our own church as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, because we feel like the church nowadays, like just the way people's perception of it is so like mangled, and it leads people away from Christ to Christ.
Yeah, like turning in his name internationally, right? Like getting it out the city. That's
Wow. That's proper. Hopefully that all goes well for you guys. You know, I'm definitely rooting for y'all. Tell people where they can find you and all that good stuff. Where they can find you, promote yourself.
Yeah, bro. So on the socials, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
In His Name, 4E's.
4E's.
In His Name, 4E's on everything. TikTok. We just started Threads. Interesting Threads here.
Threads, yeah. Threads is pretty interesting. Definitely, I'm on Threads as well too. All that will be linked down below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.